they had both sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
But they were separated. But they could talk through barred windows. And they could write notes.
Oh. Just they don't usually like lunge after food. They usually like float really close and then like grab it.
What I think is tacky
Here,
is that
like-
they have a marina here.
Uh huh.
I think it's tacky that people can park there.
Yeah.
I think that's really tacky.
So smart to maintain this.
They rent out for 1,500. What says that for you? Into a castle, and she's the Gustav Vasa's daughter, and the son, that's a seal, but he was crazy.
Oh.
So he thought that there were mermaids in the water, but what there was crayfish. And they would put all the waste from the kitchen would go into the water, and the crayfish would eat it, and then they would eat the crayfish, and then it would be a nice circle of life.
And it moves us all.
I mean, she's supposed to be the daughter, but he had several sons, but his eldest son was crazy. Tennis for money, and since her brother Magnus was the crazy one, he wasn't very good, so he lost a lot of money.
Is he the crazy one who jumped out of the
Yeah. And then Gustav
Out the window.
Vasa married his third wife here. It was a cousin, a much younger cousin. And they had musicians on the bridge playing when he came out. And then they had to run all the way to the convent where Katarina, the cousin, was waiting for him, so they could also welcome him as musicians. So they played here for him, and then they ran. And she was dressed in a hat with 20,000 pearls, and the pearls symbolize purity and what do you call it?
virginity.
Purity, virginity,
Stay on the path, I
and
guess.
simplicity. Oh, I didn't see that.
Just watch out and stay on the path.
Oh, I'm wearing my sunglasses.
That's why it's so dark. Now you know why. Ooh. You're not real. I thought you were a patron. I was thinking there, I thought this guy was like a tour guide or something. That's cool. Yeah, you could walk through here. That's a rat toy right there. Where'd you go?
House that was close to the moat in case the Danish came.
Oh.
They were afraid of the Danish, they were afraid of the Swedes from the south, because the Swedes from the south wanted to go back to belong to them. So they were Danish. The king would eat as much as he wanted, but he wouldn't let other people eat. And
Oh,
these
that-
glasses were made specially to be easy to grasp, since they had to eat with their hands. We made this picture with the most fashionable clothes and beard and everything, and
Funny.
especially the calves. Women were crazy about men with muscular calves, so he made
Oh, you
this.
mean like you and Anders?
Yeah, well, Anders has good calves. I don't.
Anders has good calves.
But the thing was that these were not his calves. There was one of his workers that stood and as a model
That's funny.
So if Queen Elizabeth the First had met him, she would not have seen the same guy. But she, this princess, she had a reputation. She liked this one guy, and so she let him into her bedroom like 3 or 4 times.
Oh.
And then they caught them together, and then she got a bad reputation. So she couldn't get the best guys to marry her. He's from other royalty, and these were the queen would receive her guests, and then she would show off all the presents she had gotten from the royalty.
Oh. Cool. I like this.
Fashion and jewelry in England. And she, when she traveled back to Sweden, Queen Elizabeth I kept all of her dresses and her jewelry. So after that, they were not friends anymore.
Oh.
Are for the nobility because they have rest your back. The rest are for the common people. There's a present for one of the queens. It was stolen from Denmark and shipped over here. And people still get married here. And they can still play the organ.
We should go with yours.
Want to go in there or should we
Let's go. Let's go. Something similar happened to Liberty Bell.
That is the
Hey,
left.
gotcha.
The thing that goes underneath.
Yeah.
The ceiling.
Yeah, because they use it probably for meetings. I wonder if it's interesting.
Shots fired.
You can watch it for 1 minute.
Deal.
By 1523, Gustav Vasa had defeated the Danish king of the Union, Christian II. On the 6th of June that year, Gustav Vasa was elected king of the new nation-state of Sweden. It was a time of unrest. The Danish were in no way beaten, and in the forests of Småland there were rebellious farmers who were trying to overthrow the Swedish king. To defend his throne, Gustav Vasa's plan was to renovate a number of strongholds. In Vadstena, however, he built a new one. Vadstena was strategically well located. A stronghold there, together with an installation in Jönköping, would be able to defend Sweden from attacks from the south. Just like several other strongholds of the Vasa era, it was built with 4 round turrets connected by defensive ramparts and surrounded by a moat. Loopholes constructed in the tower enabled defenders to shoot in all directions. The main building was intended for the garrison of the stronghold. The king's residence was a timber building in the courtyard. 2 square towers housed, among other things, a cottage bakery, a kitchen, and prison cells. The billet on the 2nd floor of the main building is part of the castle that has been preserved from the first construction phase. It was not until the reign of Gustav Vasa's son, Johann III, that the castle was transformed into an imposing Renaissance building. Johann III worked closely with the Dutch master builder Arend de Roy, who was inspired by the teachings of the famous Italian Renaissance architect Andrea Palladio. According to Palladio, the height of the ceiling should be in proportion to the area of the room. The larger the room, the higher the ceiling. This is evident above all in the 2 uppermost floors. Under the supervision of Johann III, the large Hall of State was built. The room was used for both meetings of the National Council and festivities. However, the warrior figures with their flamboyant headgear painted in the window niches of the room were probably added after Johann's death. Renaissance ideals were strongly influenced by ancient Greece. Symmetry was a watchword, and geometric shapes were the basis. The rectangular window openings at Vadstena Castle and their regular spacing typify this. The portals of the porch to the wedding hall are reminiscent of classic temples, with pilasters at the side and the triangular pediment above. In the porch, both the floor and ceiling are preserved in their original state. The wedding hall itself was built in the 1580s. The murals in the room are probably by the Dutch artist Arend Lambrechts. He also executed the compartment paintings at the top of the window niches in the Goedegård room. Johann III was deeply religious and had churches built in many castles, as in Vadstena. In the west wall of the castle church, you can see parts of the walled-in columns that originally supported 3 arches. However, the open arcade was walled up at an early date. This was probably because the columns were not sufficiently strong to support the powerful and unusually high roof arches. As you walk around in the castle, you will be able to see several traces of similar walled-up arches. Construction projects continued after the death of Johann III. Fire broke out in the east part of the castle in 1598 and renovations became necessary. The west part of the 3rd floor was built in the beginning of the 17th century. It includes the small hall of state, a hall for festivities which was built under the supervision of Christopher Mühlmestere. The murals in this room were hidden for a period under a layer of whitewash. However, the whitewash was removed in the 1940s and the walls can now be seen in their original state. The window niches to the north have old, well-preserved benches. 3 squares have been inscribed in one of them. They were used to play the ancient board game Nine Men's Morris. West of the small hall of state, there is a 4-room dwelling suite. The suite was used by, among others, the widow of Karl IX, Christina of Holstein-Gottorp. 2 of the rooms still contain original paintings on the ceiling. There are also original door frames with wrought iron fittings. In 1602, under the supervision of master builder Hans Fleming, a team of masons was commissioned to carve out the ornamented east wall of the castle. On the gable wall, one can see the coat of arms of Duke Johann and sculptures symbolising faith, hope and charity. The sculptures on the gable walls have been replaced by copies. The original Vadstena Castle is today